What's up, everyone? This is Hello Sugary here. I'm bringing you another cast this evening. This is actually another matchup, and oh my god, I'm so embarrassed. This player I've been calling Barcode. Slim told me his name, and I totally forgot it. So I'm going to call him Barcode here for a second, but this is actually the second matchup we're doing a ZvT here. This is a Masters level matchup. Pretty exciting. The first game, if you have not watched it, I'll go ahead and upload that, and definitely check that out on YouTube. So for now, Barcode here, our teal Terran player spawning in the bottom right of Ohana, and on the top left we have our green Zerg player Dreadski. He took the first match here with some really awesome Broodlord Infester play. And a really fantastic macro game there. Went up to 4 to 5 bases for our Terran player and five-ish bases for our Zerg player. So a really fantastic matchup. I hope we see something that epic here in this match. And let me ask him what his name is here, so I can not call him Barcode the whole game, so he can get proper credit. And he is going to go ahead and throw Ultima. So this is our our teal Terran player is Ultima, and he's going to go ahead and throw down that barracks quickly. We'll see if he decides to go into a 1-Rax gasless expand. I expect our Zerg player to go hatch first. Yep, he is going to drop that 15 hatch, as is so standard in ZvT. If you deviate from that too much, you really have to basically be doing something crazy and do something serious to make that pay off. Otherwise, you just get so far behind. So really, ZvT is almost 15 hatch is something you see almost every game, and of course going now actually into, looks like a 14 pool, so a little bit earlier pool. Sometimes you see like 15 hatch, and 15 or 16 pools, a little bit more standard. Drone gonna get in and just get his scout off, see that Rax is coming up. Terran player gonna save up the money here, so as soon as he hits 400, you'll see him throw down that CC. So he's gonna go into that 1-Rax gasless fast expand. Marine gonna come out here and maybe in a minute here poke out and do a little scouting. So at this point it's too early to tell. And we are on Ohana. Ohana is my absolute all-time favorite map. Every time I cast a game on this map, you will hear me say that. I cannot say it enough about this map. It is freaking gorgeous. I just love all this vegetation in here, this kind of desert oasis looking thing. It just makes me feel like I'm on vacation every time, and I just love this map. I don't know, something about it, really my favorite map. So Dreadski gonna transfer a few drones down here to his natural, and not too much going on here. We do see 2 gases going up. We'll see if once he gets this CC rolling, if he decides to move into some Hellion and Banshee for some sort of quick tech, or I've seen him play a few times. The last 2 times he played, he did go and do pretty much the same build, just macro up and go with a heavy bio tank, Marine tank army, but maybe he'll try to transition into something else, maybe try some mech this time, but we'll see. And he's going to go ahead and try to supply block Ohana here and take out this neutral supply depot. So Ohana will not be happy when it tries to produce its units. And Overlord going to get out here and do some scouting. Of course, he's not going to take the center path. Does not want to get picked off by those early Marines, but he will get in position here to scout the Terran's main base, as is standard, around the 6 to 7 minute mark, just to go ahead and see what the tech path of our Terran player is. Bunker coming down here. This is a really great position, especially in this matchup, because if you have any Zerglings coming in, this bunker will actually defend a good portion of your naturals mineral line, and it will defend this ramp here as well too if Zerglings try to come in and attack at the ramp. So it's a really good positioning. We see 6 Zerglings coming out. They're gonna just poke in, do some scouting, see if there's any opportunity to be annoying, but at this point not really. He'll probably leave 1 Zergling at 1 or both of the towers, and so far just macroing up. He does have his first gas down. His Zergling speed has already started, and he pulled his his drones off right as that 100 gas got up. He is going to come in, pick up his supply depot, and these Hellions. Ooh, is this wall going to stay? Nope. Hellions will actually chase those Zerglings away, so they will, not for nothing, they will get an SCV kill, but I don't know if that was worth 6 Zerglings, although he did get the scout off. He knows the Hellions are out. He sees the reactor. Did he see that starport? and I don't know why that's showing player camera. He did, yeah, he did see the starport, so he knows Banshees are probably not too far off. Tech Lab's already up right as the starport finishes, lands on it. He's going to start that cloak and that first Banshee right at the same time. Banshee will be out a bit before the cloak, but by that time that Banshee gets across the map, cloak will be finished. I'm sure our Zerg player knows to expect that. Not only is that fairly standard in ZvT, he also scouted it, so I think he's going to be pretty prepared. He'll have probably 4 to 6 queens, maybe more. On the last game he did stick with 4 queens, but let's take a look. He does have 3 queens out now. Does he have another one in production? He does not, so he has 3 queens out. That should still be able to deal with 1 or 2 Banshees with no problem. He has the Ibu Chamber up. He can throw down the spines. Is he going to start his lair? Yes, he has already started his lair. And the Roach Warren going down. Is there a Baneling Nest? Spore Crawler, so no. Deciding to go with the Roach Warren instead of the Baneling's Nest. Or maybe, I guess he, throw the Roach Warren down early just in case he needs it to deal with Hellions, especially if there's any sort of large push, or if Terran does decide to tech up the Blue Flames. It's always good to have that Roach Warren. It's a very small investment, even if you never need to use it, so that you don't get totally wrecked by something unexpected. But once he does send this Overlord in, and I'm sure he actually already has, because it's well past 6 minutes, he probably has a good scout off on this build, sees the 4 barracks coming up. Actually, those are just coming up now, so I guess has not scouted those. So no, he actually has not scouted the barracks. So at this point, Dreadski is mostly blind as to what build is going up. And we do see Banshee coming in here, and Spore Crawler up, Queens up. Banshee not going to be able to do too much here, although he may be able to sneak around the back here until we get an Overseer out and pick off a drone or 2. But the Spore Crawler are going to come in. He will get a couple drone kills though, so not bad. Anything you can do with the Banshee to just be annoying is, definitely puts you up a little bit. Although the Overseer is out now, so he will be able to see that cloaked Banshee now wherever it is and hunt that down. So Banshee probably not going to do too much more damage now. Here he comes in, so he will be able to, with good micro, pick off another couple drones. So that's actually good. He's gotten something like five or so drone kills now, so that's huge. And Zerg player going to start working on breaking down these rocks. I don't know if he's going to push out with his... and excuse me, let me put the vision back on here so we can see everything. He's going to bring these roaches to start breaking down these rocks, and he's going to look to take that 3rd soon. And yep, we do see the CC coming down as well. 3rd command center for our Terran player, morphing into an orbital here, Ultima, and he does have now 4 barracks on reactor and 1 on Tech Lab. I assume Stim is probably on the way. Stim is almost finished, so we'll see if he starts that combat shield right away. It doesn't look like he's producing Marauders really, so although, well, I guess in this matchup Marauders don't do a ton, especially with a high number of Zerglings. So, although they are able to soak up a few more Baneling hits, but either way, we're going to see a very marine-heavy build here again, so no surprises. Engineering bays double going up, so we'll see those upgrades started pretty soon, although his upgrades are going to come up a little bit later than Dreadski here, so Dreadski's already on +1/+1. We'll probably see him start that +2 soon. The Spire is already up, so most of his production buildings are up. We will see an infestation pit here in the next couple minutes, I would imagine. Another spine crawler coming up here, just going to kind of make this a little bit more narrow choke, make sure those Hellions don't sneak in and do any major damage. Got Mutas out in production now, so let's take a look at the production tab. So the +2/+2 is now started, Burrow is started, we have Baneling, Speed is almost done, 44 Zerglings in production, so he's starting to definitely pull out his army, and I think that's just in time because we do have pretty serious production here now coming out of our Terran player, although has Dreadski now, yes, he has come in with that Overseer, and he has scouted out this Rax heavy build, so he will know exactly how to counter that, and I think Zergling, Baneling, Muta at this point is a pretty awesome way to deal with this. Muta's going to come in here and try to pick off that tank, although they're not going to do too much damage. A few Zerglings going to get lost and a couple Marines, so fairly even trade there. Muta's going to sneak around here, maybe not do too much, but if anything, just force the Terran player to throw up, a few turrets here and there, and there's already turrets up pretty much much throughout the Terran's base. He's not going to be able to do too much. Turret in the mineral line, a couple turrets out here, so no mutas can sneak in. So not going to do too much with the muta harass, but those will definitely be good later on for dealing with any stray siege tanks. And of course, my favorite thing is picking off those medevacs after your banelings roll through and just totally devastate the Terran army. You get to chase those medevacs down with the mutas and clean them up. So we see a Zerg moving out here with his Zerglings. We'll probably see some serious baneling production here at any point in the near future, although maybe he's yeah, so he does have quite a bit of gas banked up. He is going to pick off that Marine there. And starting his fourth now as well, Terran now has his third fully established, so definitely as a Zerg player you want to get that one base up. You want to be at least one base ahead, if at all possible, and two bases is even better, although this is Ohana, so not going to be a whole lot more room. If he wants to be crazy, he can take this. Well, you know, this is not crazy if he wants to take this fifth base here, but then if you want to try to get this before Terran does, but that's not likely, although he does have that burrowed Zergling chilling there. Going to delay that command center, or at least force our Terran player to waste a scan, and as we know, every scan costs a mule, basically, so that, you know, costs a significant amount of money, so, and it also delays the timing, and you know exactly when it's going down, so that's a really good play by Dreadski. Does have this Zergling chilling over here. Maybe eventually he will look to burrow that. In the fourth base, hatchery is completed. We see a ton of banelings, 24 banelings in production, so and +2/+2 upgrades are done. Infestation pit is done. Hive should be on the way soon, although pneumatized carapace coming out now, so wonder what he's going to do with these ridiculous fast overlords now. Is he going to look to try to do some sort of drop play? So that's interesting. Does he have the so he does not have the ventral sacs and has not started that yet. So that's interesting. We do have pathogen glands now is almost done here, so we'll see some infestors coming out soon. And both players again being fairly passive, although Terran is starting to push out a little bit. He does scan, he sees the fourth go up, maybe wants to take that out while it's fresh, and Zergling's rolling in here a little bit ahead of the Baneling, and Baneling's going to come in, and I think Zerg will be able to clean this up pretty efficiently here, although a lot of Banelings landing on those tanks now here, and Muta's coming in, and yeah, it looks like our Zerg is going to be able to clean up this army here, basically chase down these Marines here, pick off a few more Marines, going to stem up, but again, pretty good exchange here for the Zerg player. And although, you know, he used a significant unit, but now he is taking a small supply lead, nothing major at this point. And both players going to basically keep working on that army now. 153 to 136 supply, and take a look at the upgrades. So now the +2/+2 upgrades for our Terran player just about to finish here, so about to even up on upgrades. Zerg had a slight advantage on the upgrades in that engagement. And we do see the 3/3 coming up, so I thought that would come up, and the Greater Spire. Hive is finished at the 18 mark. We are going to see some Broodlords and Infestor. This is going to be fantastic. And let's just take a look at this creep spread. It's just getting out of control here. Creep almost getting into the maybe 3 more creep tumors, and this will nearly be biting at the Terran's natural here. So this creep spread is just fantastic. So great job by Dreadski to just really be on top of his macro game, and we'll look to see when he decides to take this fifth base. Fourth base is still not even nearly fully saturated. He's going to go ahead and take those 2 gases. If you're going to go with a Broodlord Infestor build, you definitely want to have that gas. And he is banking quite a bit of gas. Hasn't been producing too many Banelings. Ultralisk Cavern coming up. So this looks like pretty much a mirror of the last game. 4 bases, probably soon into 5 bases for Zerg. Oh, and there's where those mutas really come into play and pay off. Chase down and pick off that medevac. Really good play there by Dreadski. So that drop going to do almost nothing. Doesn't even take out that Spore Crawler. So that's, I don't know, I think he had just 1 medevac, maybe 2, but medevac and Marines basically thrown away for nothing. I don't even think he got a single Muta kill. Muta's going to poke in here. Tons of turrets up everywhere. Not going to do too much, but he will get a little scout, maybe pick on that supply depot. And those Muta's going to get chased away pretty quickly there. A Thor is out on the field, so you know, does not want to get those mutas balled up in the path of a Thor, because Thors make very quick work out of mutas, and it looks like he does have +1/+1 vehicle weapons and armor here for his Thor too as well. And moving out here, +2/+2, +3/+3. So +3 attacks is actually going to be finished here probably before this next engagement, so that'll give Zerg a significant boost. Chitinous plating is almost done here as well too, or about halfway done. So in this next engagement, I think our Zerg player is just pulling back, wisely waiting for his +3 attacks, carapace, and adrenal glands, and that's going to be huge in this next engagement. 3 really strong upgrades. Adrenal glands just turn your Zerglings into monsters here. Although Terran's going to move in with this little force, try to do some harass here. This is going to get nowhere. Although he does force quite a few banelings. Oh my god, huge engagement coming up here. Ultralisk coming in. Going to roll right into the siege tank line. Most of these banelings, unfortunately, are going to get taken out before they connect, but it does not matter. Just a ridiculous amount of ultras here with the chitinous plating, +3/+3 upgrades. So well, chitinous plating actually was not done. It's going to finish up here in about 2 seconds, but in any case, these ultras are just tanks. Look at this, 500 HP. They're dealing 21 damage, 47 versus armored. They're going to come into this 4th base now, and it is not a planetary yet, so this is going to lift off. Does he have the mutas to chase that down? He does, but either way, they're going to go ahead and pick off all these SCVs here, so that's huge to deny this 4th base right away before it gets up and mining. Going to take down that missile turret. Maybe look to come in with these mutas, although might take these mutas a little while to take this down, but I'm sure they will be able to take down this command center, because nothing's going to break through this force of ultras at this point, at least not a few marines here. So things looking really good for Dreadski, our master level Zerg player here. And we also see the 5th base coming up for Dreadski as well too now, and he's going to throw up those gas as well, so he's going to be able to produce some serious broodlords here if he even needs to. Right now, with all these infestors and ultras, I feel like he could pretty much just push here and do some serious damage before Ultima gets another ridiculous load of siege tanks, but he does have that coming up here. We have 2 more siege tanks in production, 4 marauders, 5 marines, a few Vikings, so he knows that broodlord transition is not far away. Although again, at this point, doesn't really need it. It seems like these ultras are working out pretty well, so may not transition into the broodlords here, because this seems to be working. And now we have a huge number of infestors, 10 infestors out on the field, and these probably have full, no, not full energy, but you know, a significant energy built up. Looks like all of them have over 130 energy, so enough for almost enough for 2 fungals here with each infestor. So 10 infestors times 2 fungals, that's 20 fungals, so that's huge. That'll shred through a large chunk of marines, and basically and look at this, just tiny little push coming out here. Going to scan, take out a few creep tumors, but this is not going to do anything. Oh, and look at that, fungal gets everything. 1 more fungal, and that is the end of that little push. Although there's a couple marauders surviving, so and ooh, maybe they'll get to pick off a couple infestors here, so that's pretty big. Although again, at this point, it's not really going to be too much of a big deal here. A couple more fungals going to pick off those medevacs and Vikings. And at this point, our Zerg player is just looking strong, almost just toying with the Terran here. Burrowed Zergling over here, going to force another scan. So although at this point, you know, you would tend to say it's wasted money, but at this point, when you're banking 1,600 minerals, it's not a huge deal. Although, actually, it is kind of a big deal, because his main is mined out, his natural is almost mined out, his 3rd is running low. Oh my god, and his 4th is just denied once again. Infested Terran eggs gonna come soak up some of these tank shots, basically take down this excuse me, this command center is gonna most likely burn to death. And wow, nice job to take out that CC. So basically our Zerg player looking pretty strong here now on 5 bases. He's still got a ton of money in his 3rd, a ton of money in his 4th. His 5th is now just getting established with mining. Let's take a look at the units tab here. So we have 73 drones for our Zerg player. Just ridiculous here. Oh my god, another engagement here in the center of the map. Still a strong army from our Terran force. Nearly maxed out. Supplies are almost even, but the excuse me, the economy of our Zerg player is just dominating here. Oh my god, and look at that. He's going to go ahead and build a hatchery here, block any chance for this Terran player to try to take this fourth, since this one was repeatedly denied, and this Terran player is just going to run out of money very quickly. He's now just down to basically mining in his third. That's almost gone. Once this army gets cleaned up, he is not going to be able to reproduce anything, so really fantastic job by Dreadski to just basically choke out our Terran player. If he can't get this base up and going, it's going to be done, and even gets the cancel off, although the minerals at this point probably don't really mean anything, but good splitting of the army by our Terran player. Huge fungal going down this green. Banelings rolling in, going to tear everything apart. Oh my god, look at these fungals, and these Ultralisks going to come clean it up. Although Terran player actually holding pretty strong. He was able to thwart that entire push, so really nice spread by those siege tanks. Good spread on the Marines, and really fantastic job. Although, look at that. Army has already been remaxed instantly by our Zerg player. So what does he have in production? He has 17 Ultras in production. Oh my god, and 20 Zerglings. So he's just going to instantly remax on Ultras. Although that ate up basically all of his floating money, but again, he has this just ridiculous economy going. It says he has 73 drones. I'm wondering where all his drones are. So yeah, actually he does have quite a few. I would like to see him transfer a few more drones down to his, I guess you would call this his fourth base here, just to kind of even up the mining a little bit, because this base is a little bit oversaturated, whereas this base is a little bit unsaturated. But either way, it's no problem. He's focusing on his, oh my god, this is ridiculous. Let's take a look. 17 Ultras on the field. This is the most Ultras I've ever seen. Fungals going down. Basically going to tear through this. Tons of siege tanks. Going to create a choke point, so you know, a little bit of an advantage for the Terran player, but it does not matter. This is just too many Ultralisks to deal with. These are going to just walk their way through any siege tank line. Fungal's going to clean up these medevacs here, and this is just ridiculous. Although Terran was able to take out 7 Ultras in that engagement, so that's a huge investment for the Zerg player, but again, going to deny mining on here. That's so painful for the Terran player. Just cannot get that base established. He does have this one going down now. He was distance mining for a little bit. The CC drops. I'm sure our Zerg player will be over there very shortly to clean that up as well. Ultras coming in here again, going to clean up the SCV. He can't fungal a command center, but if he could, he would. In any case, more Zerglings streaming in here, and going to go ahead and pick off these stray Marines, rolling in with this just ridiculous force of Ultras. I hesitate to look. He has 6 Broodlords in production. I think that's just what he needs here, because these Ultras are forcing basically a Marauder Siege Tank heavy build, and Marauder and Siege Tank are useless against Broodlords, so now finally deciding it's time to transition into Broodlords. The Ultras coming in again, going to clean up this base, kill all these SCVs, trapping them in. That's huge, because even if he does manage to get on, look at this Overlord's viewing creep, just really fantastic job to cut off production of the Terran player here. So Terran's just basically going to look to push out at this point in desperation, but I think this is GG any second here. And the Ultra's going to back up here. He's content to just wait for these Broodlords here. Wants to go out with a bang, even though he probably could have ended it there. Really wants to see this wicked army move out. Just ridiculous game here by Dreadski. Just fantastic play all around. Denied every time this Terran player wanted to get past 3 bases. Was completely denied. Was never able to get a base up. And coming in here now, huge fungals going down. Basically fungaled everything. There's the GG, well played. I have to agree, that game was fantastically played. Probably, you know, really, I just can't say enough about it. I love ZvT. That was a fantastic matchup there. And look at this just fantastic game there. So Dreadski doing a great job of choking out the Terran player, getting huge, you know, basically map control all over the map all game long. Even with that Hellion Banshee out early, Terran really never took any map control, and Dreadski just showing his powers here. But a fantastic game. I want to really thank both of these players for playing, letting me observe and cast this game. So this barcode guy here is Ultima, and Dreadski is our Zerg player. So a really fantastic matchup. Thanks for watching, everyone, and have a good night.